Hello and welcome to this Wraith Knight painting tutorial for Frostgrave. My name is Peter Harrison and I run the YouTube channel TWG. And in this video I'll be showing you how you can paint your Wraith Knights in a ghostly and ethereal way using the Army Painter's range of paints to do so. So here we have the Wraith, and as you can see I've primed it using the Army Painter's Uniform Grey Spray Primer. And this is because it gives us a really nice base colour in which to work our ghostly apparition from. And the first step in painting this miniature is to highlight all of the areas, which include the cloth, the fur around the edges, the gloves, pretty much anywhere that isn't metallic on this miniature, with ash grey. With the first highlight of ash grey down on the cloth areas, the next step is to do a second thinner highlight of 50-50 ash grey mixed with matte white. Now for the next step we'll be darkening the overall look of the robes by applying a wash of dark tone ink into the recesses. I'm going to water it down slightly as well, as we don't want to be too dark in this application. Now that we've finished painting the grey areas on the miniature, the next step is to paint all of the metal areas, and this includes the armour, the weapon and also the helmet. And we're painting these areas with fur brown. Now to complete the rusty armour effect, the next step is to apply some chipping, and for this we'll be using a very small highlight of plate mail metal and just highlighting some of the edges of the metal sections. Now that the metallic areas have been picked out, the next step is to wash over all of the armour, which will create some nice shading in the recesses as well as darkening up the metal sections, and for this we'll be using strong tone ink. With the armour completed, the next step is to paint some of the glowing areas of the miniature. Now this includes the eyes and around the face, and also any of the jewels such as along around the cloak there and also on the belt. And we're painting these areas with Greenskin. With the base layer achieved, the next step is to paint over with Goblin Green, and we're focusing this along the edges around the glowing areas. Doesn't matter if you overspill onto the helmet or around the cloth, for example, and actually on the gems themselves, on the buckles, on both the cloak and also the belt as well. Now the next step in painting the green areas is to apply a 50-50 mix of demonic yellow and goblin green, and we're applying this mix to the very edges here, just to going to be the brightest of all the glowing. So once you go around the edges and also in the center of the glowing eyes as well. Now the final step in painting this particular miniature is to apply a little bit of shading into the very recesses of the glowing areas just inside the helmet there, and for this we'll be applying a wash of green tone ink.